Hi, welcome to an episode of Dungeon Diving. I'm Nick, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm one of the hosts of the delightful Dungeon Diving podcast. On that podcast, we discuss tabletop role-playing games, character writing, story development, and all the wonderful aspects related to this hobby we all enjoy so much. We have some bonus episodes on our podcast where we build a dungeon from the ground up, an adventuring area, and then we take a narrative walk through it. In this video, we're going to take a longer approach, and I want you to just relax, sit back, and enjoy as I build a dungeon from the ground up. You can use this map in your games, or you can just use it as inspiration for story writing. We're going to be using the Dungeondraft application, and you don't have to be an expert on using this, and I'm not going to be giving tutorials. Let's just build this dungeon together. For today, we're going to build a forest clearing featuring a set of ruins for our players to explore. Perhaps there'll be an entrance to a lower level for the ruins. So, starting off here with a big mossy area, I think we're going to work on the ruins themselves first. So I think what we need to do is clear ourselves an area here where there's going to be more foot traffic in the foundations of our ruins. Let's place them right up here in the corner, kind of out of the way. Gives us a nice focal point to gravitate towards. You'll notice the little grid here, these little boxes. In this case, we're going to denote about 5 feet. So they're 5-foot square boxes. And this means we're looking at a pretty decent area. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab some bits that we're going to use for the walls of the ruins. There we go. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to mirror this. No, does that quite work? Yeah, there it is. Right there. That's how we want to angle this sucker. And let's move over so y'all get a good view of this. I'm going to zoom in a bit as we're getting to work over here. And let's take this one. We're going to move that. Yeah, you know what? Let's go back to where we were before. I like this a bit better. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I want to angle that sucker right about there. And we can always adjust this dirt area wall, right? Yeah, there's my walls. So I'm going to come down and pick some more of these. Let's do this one right here. That'll be a good connector. Now, these ruins, they don't necessarily need to make perfect sense the way they're laid out. Now, any archaeologists out there, you can be mad at me for that, but that's okay. I'm going to take the shadows off of these, and I'm just going to put these right here. Like I said, we're going to adjust that area, that dirt area. We're building these ruins up, and sometimes I can be a little bit of a perfectionist with how I place these things, the rubble, all sorts of stuff, but anything gives more life to this. So you can see me jumping around, making a lot of changes to the settings here, where I'm placing things on the map, but don't worry too much about that. All we're doing is adding bits of rubble to kind of give this place a bit more life. These ruins really are going to dominate most of this map. So I'm going to come up here and let's make this wall a bit bigger. I think that'll work, yeah. I'm going to mirror that a little bit. There we go. Mirror that one too. No, I think we just need to flip that around. Oh, look at that. That fits. Okay. There we go. All right. So, as I said, we're getting the foundations of these ruins in here. And they're coming together quite nicely, at least I think so. Now, let's put this down a little bit here. There we go. So we have a shallow area to come into. And I'm going to go back to this little terrain brush. And all this little happy grass that's here, we're going to push that back just a little bit. Not completely, as we're going to let it come back around the edges here. Yeah, there we go. Fill in those lines. All right. You know, that whole color inside the lines thing. That's what we're practicing here. I was never particularly good at it as a kid. I didn't have the patience. But now, I'm going to try to be a bit more of an artist with it. And there we go. So now we have this dirt area. And we will give a little bit more out into the pathway here, into the walkway. And a little bit more, a little other areas where people have traversed through the grass and the moss in here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a bit. Oof, we got a big area to work with here. And I think what we need to do is add in some more walls to demarcate the different rooms and chambers of these ruins. We're not necessarily making a maze for our players today, but we do want this place to look somewhat, as if it had different chambers to it. Sometimes the pieces we have, the assets that we're using in Dungeondraft, sometimes we only have so many. So, we work with what we got. And I'm going to open this one up a little bit. Okay, a little side passage here. And we'll figure out what the players can be surprised with when we get over to that section. Now here's a fun set. That's a big piece, and I think we're going to put that one. Yeah, let's build this out a little bit. I like this. What we can do is build ourselves a little doorway into a larger chamber. And again, we're not being perfect here. I don't have any sort of degree in archaeology. I don't know exactly how an ancient ruin structure would be laid out. I will tell you what we are going to try and avoid, though. I'm going to try to avoid leaning on any tropes of, forgotten temples and ruins of, old backwards places. We're going to ignore that. There's mystery to this, but the people who lived here before probably had complex culture and traditions. Who knows what this complex was used for? Maybe religious purposes, maybe bureaucratic. Maybe it was some center focus of the city that was here in this forest. It was a government building. But whatever it is, it's going to offer a lot of opportunity for adventure for our players. Okay, let's see here. We're going to place some more ruins. Again, doesn't have to make sense. So I'm just creating a little area that will funnel players through. Okay. Hopefully you're all still sticking with me so far. I want to keep going like this. Let me see, what does that do? Ooh, yeah, that actually helps me out there. I'll make another chamber on this side. And let's not block ourselves off too much. A lot of this area, there's going to be fallen debris, rubble strewn all about. Let's see here. Flooring. There we go. Let's see here. Now trying to figure out, not quite what we want. We don't want this to look too put together, so we're going to do it the hard way. I'm going to get some little bits and pieces here and scale. We're going to bring these down a bit. There we go. And I want to choose this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, this one, this one, and this one. And we're going to make that even smaller. Let's see what we get here. Okay. It's not quite what I was hoping for. It does almost get the job done, though. we're going to leave this bit as a pile of debris. Yeah, a pile of debris where perhaps one of the walls caved in near the entrance. Ooh, now, I think I found what I was really looking for, hoping for here. We're going to see I placed two little ones down here by accident. That's okay. I'm going to grab this bit here. All right, that's more what I was looking for, but I just realized I did it in the wrong place. That's okay. So I'm going to grab some of these little bits of broken stone, and I'm going to see how placing these along here will give us a floor, so to speak. Make them a little larger. There we go. So now we're getting bits of the old tile in here. It's mostly moss and dirt, but we do want to give some sense of flooring so it meshes in a little bit. So there we go. We're just putting little trails of pebbles and debris. I appreciate you all following along today and coming along for the adventure. This is the first one of these Dungeon Dive videos we're doing. I've done a few live before over on the TikTok app, but I thought it might be fun to do a more long-form video that people can play at their leisure. So, here we have our ruins. Nice. And of course, I now discover there is a much larger version of the bricks I was just using, something that would have made my job a lot easier a few moments ago. That's okay. I want to place a few anyways, just to move in some of these corners here. We're going to rotate these piles of rubble. Rotate the rubble. Rotate the rubble. There we go. And we want to fill in these corners. Now we're going to get the basis of this map built up first. Then we can come back and start populating with some ideas, perhaps monsters, treasure areas, points of interest. We're going to get that in a bit, but for now I just want to get the main functions, the main structures put together. Oh, this is nice. There's some extra bits of rubble made from this same set. If you are using Dungeondraft, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you look for assets built by 2 Minute Tabletop. They're a wonderful resource for TTRPGs and for maps. And honestly, you're really handicapping yourself in using Dungeondraft if you're not using assets from third parties that are built specifically for applications like this. Now, we have plenty of rubble and stonework in here. I thought about putting one of these big old bricks, a big stone column, as if it fell right in the middle of the floor. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see here. I want to give the effect of mud kind of sunken around this thing. A big block that might have fallen from the ceiling. So what I'm going to do here is give a few ripples as if it's sunken in the mud. There we go. All right. Our map's looking a little busy right in this corner, but I want to remind you what we're working with as we zoom out here. Yeah, you see this huge area we've got, right? We have a lot to work with. So, ooh, some nice little crystals up there. Maybe we'll find a use for those in the future. I'm going to put some leaves in here. scatter them, kind of help out this path here. We're zoomed out, I know. I'm going to zoom back in just a moment. Now that I have the basis of the ruins, we're going to have some fun. Let's give this jungle area some life. Okay, what's one of the prerequisites for life? Well, that would be water. I want to carve this area off from the rest of the rainforest. Or, well, actually, we're just going to do a temperate forest today. So this little river, we're going to bring it around here in a lovely little curve. You know what? Let's go with that S shape, that little bend. There we go. I'm going to make it a little wider. Remembering that this grid is set for 5-foot squares, 5, 10, 15, 20, about 20 feet across on this river. That's a decent amount coming through this forest. It would make sense that, we'll give a few wide bits here. It would make sense that a structure, a ruins of a previous civilization, wherever they were, whoever they were, would be based around a body of water like this. But the river also offers us plenty of opportunities for adventure. Things can be waiting in the rivers. How will the players cross? How deep or shallow is the river? Okay, let's zoom in and let's have some fun with this water. Right now, it looks pretty good. You might see the water moving right now on the video. That is a feature of Dungeondraft. And you can make yourself some live maps to use on a TV or monitor to use in your games. But right now, it kind of looks like the water just carves directly out of that moss. I want a little bit of some overhang. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to material. And I think I'm going to get some grassy edges. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, we need to actually put it right up higher, a higher layer. There we go. Okay, perfect. This grass may not merge perfectly color-wise with the rest of our ground, but that's okay. It's getting the job done. It's giving us a little bit of a fuzzy bank to the river, and things can be hiding in that bank, you know. There we go. We're going to just line this whole thing. Why not? In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up this little curve here. Now, you know what? We're still going to make it work. But you'll see in a moment. I'm going to add some rocky bits down here. Let's see. We want terrain. We have some gravel. And we're going to put the gravel underneath the water here. There you go. You see that? That's giving us a little bit more texture to the water. It's showing us that the water is very clear through here. And that it's clear because there's not a lot of silt. Even though there's grass growing right up to the edge, it's not a muddy region. Here we go. Actually, I guess we can kind of enlarge that. Why not? It's blue water. It's shimmering, shining. We know that it's water. We don't need to keep too many blank spaces. All right, we've got a nice rocky bottom to that river. There we go. It's a pretty bejeweled looking place. All right. Now we've got our river, we've got our ruins. I think for a forest, we're going to need some trees, right? All right, we're going to come over here to our wonderful scatter tool because we got a lot of trees to make. And I think we have a lot of options. Here we go. I'm going to pretty much use this whole little section over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's our answer. Ooh, I don't remember how how small we made these things. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our scale back up. We really want them to be about normal. So let me see what that does for us. Yeah, okay. There we go. We're having fun. We're going to make different stands of trees. They're not all going to be right on top of each other. So we're spacing these trees out a bit. And they're not just going to exist alone on this grass. We're going to have to carve out some dirt areas as well under here. And all of this space here we're going to use. Now we're not necessarily blocking off. Ooh, that's a big tree all of a sudden. I want to go back to my object tool here because I want to start placing these individually. And we have some more options for trees. As I mentioned, you really need to get yourself some third-party assets to use in Dungeondraft because they're wonderful and they can give so much life to your map making. All right, I'm going to place a few fun little points of interest here. Let's place this under. So right here in this little copse of trees, I'm going to place this nice little pool here. Where is my forest floor? There we go, forest floor. I'm going to start giving some little bits of greenery amongst this little path, this little foresty path. There we go. This forest is full of life, so we are populating it. There we go. All right, look at these little trees. They have little buddies underneath them with all these little shrubs. It's very nice. Can't imagine what little creatures live under these trees. Little rabbit warrens and badger holes. Okay. So there you have it. We've got a bunch of leaves and things. Now, this is not necessarily a map that you might be placing tokens or characters directly upon, although you certainly can. It's why we chose this grid. But it could just be here to serve as a set piece, a place to set your story. Now, I'm something of a fan of these rock formations here, and I'm trying to find a good place to place them. I think I want to make a feature. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do with them. These ruins that we have, we're going to place these ruins above the river. And we're going to give the impression of height by placing these rock formations in front of the ruins. And then we're going to give them a bit of height, layering the terrain. So we'll fill in the gaps here as well with, we'll fill in the gaps here with some extra debris. There we go. I think this is gonna work well. I could be wrong, but I like the idea of raising these ruins up, making them approachable only by certain ways, certain directions. Also, I think it's a cool visual to have these ruins sitting up high above the river. It also explains why the terrain is a little different. Okay, we've almost filled in this space here. Let's put this last one nice and snug. Oh, look at that. I think he's happy there. Oop. We got to get this side. We almost forgot. Now, this is a nice little piece too, but it has these drier rocks on there, and I'm going to leave those out of this one for now. Let's get a big piece right here. That'll give us a good angle to fit in some others. Sometimes I got to rotate these to make the angle fit. And this big fella here, we're going to put him right there. Okay, we've nestled in. Why not? Let's fill this one. Ooh, I know. There we go. We put him over the top. And we're going to fill in this space right there. Okay. It's not perfect, but I think it's going to work. It looks now like this place is built a little higher than the rest. And we're going to really work on that with our terrain brush here. We're going to get a bit of dirt right around this area. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the gravel. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Now we're getting a bit of the rockiness mixed into the dirt as well. Now it doesn't merge perfectly with the grass, and that's okay. Again, we're really giving an impression here. It's not going to be perfect. It's not a perfect work of art. We're not hand painting this. We're using an application to help us along. So that's okay. Lauren Walsh, if you happen to see this, I hope you'll forgive me for not doing the perfect artistry. For those that don't know, Lauren Walsh is a fantastic artist who does many maps and artwork for big TTRPG productions. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. We're going to give a little bit more gravel here along this path. And let's shrink the path down a bit. There we go. And that path is going to give way to dirt, just like that. Okay. And we're going to put dirt on the other side of the path too. There we go. And I think there's probably a few more features we can place in here to flesh this out a bit more. Ooh, I'm liking this. Okay, but back to our forest. Ooh, we almost forgot about our forest. I think we still need to work on our trees. Let's see here. Ooh, there's another fun. There's a few little watery areas here. Trying to figure out where's a good place for some of these. We'll get to those. It's fine for now. This one's nice. Let's put this one in here. What are these little spots of water? I don't know. Maybe something fun could be hidden inside. Let's split up the ground a little bit here too. Oop. We need to layer these. My bad. I want to zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Always good to see what you're doing. See, the ground, this is a good way to break the ground up a bit to where it's not perfect. The forest floor isn't completely symmetrical. We have tufts of grass here and there, but this little bit here is going to add and help us break it up a little bit. It can be monotonous work, but rewarding as well. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I want to get nice and close to all my little tree friends here. And I'm just trying to give them a little bit more life underneath. Let's open up, show that nice dirt underneath all these. I'm placing them underneath the tree lines so that they don't seem to come out of nowhere, just out in the middle. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We're going to speed through the rest of these. Now, I've got my two doggies now on my feet as I make this map, and I'm hoping that they stay nice and calm like they have been for the remainder of our session here. Okay. Now, this line of trees is looking a bit more lifelike. They're not simply brought out from nothing. We don't want to cluster it too much, but we're giving life to this map. Okay. We have some tree trunks and things we could place in here, but I don't think I really need those today. I would like these fallen logs, though. These are fun. Okay, so fallen logs. I'm going to place one right here. there was a tree. And these rotted logs. Ooh, we're going to get to that in a second. That is a good tool to use. Okay, a few more logs. There we go. All right. Well, we've just had a happy little accident here where we've stumbled across some cliff faces for these rocks. And I think it's going to help us flesh out this rock wall here. Ooh. Someday it's okay to overlap sometimes. That's all right, I think. Sometimes it's okay to overlap these cliffs. Let's go down a little bit. There we go. We're going to place one here. And I think we're going to get a different one to round this out a bit. There we go. Ooh, these look great. I like this. This can actually give the impression that whoever was here before deliberately built up this layer, this tier for these ruins. They built their complex up here. We're just going to get a few more. I mean, once I've started, it's kind of hard to stop. So there we go. Okay, I like that. Man, that might be the thing I'm most happy about in this map so far. But we still have some work to do over here, don't we? Now, we can use these rock walls like this to give this little forest area some elevation, but you know what? I don't think we really need to do that today. What I do want to do is put a couple roots down. It's looking good so far, but I think we need some more trees actually. So I'm going to come up here to my search bar, and we're going to get a few more trees in. That's okay. We like trees. Trees are fun. These assets in particular are made to be tree branches, but I think they fill in nicely for just blocking off some areas, backfilling a little bit. So here we go. We're actually kind of doing what we did with the ruins earlier in making these different areas, these different pathways, but I am going to start opening it up a bit. Now, over the forest itself, the river of the forest itself, I want to place some trees overhanging because that's where the trees would want to grow near, right? They would want to grow near the river and be along the source of water. So I'm going to hang a few of these over, and we're going to leave the fuzzy little moss and grass. We're going to give them some room here and there. But yeah, we're getting some trees in the way. I like this. And just as I'm not an architect, I am also most not an arborist, if that's a thing. I'm not an expert in trees, but I can give us a fun area with these branches hanging out like this. Okay. Now when you have players come through this region here, they are likely, oops, we need that sucker to go over. Come on, there we go. Don't be shy, trees, don't be shy. We want the players, we want them to be encouraged to go and explore different parts of this map, so we don't want to block off every little bit of it. But we do want to make it seem full of life, full of things to explore. What's under that tree? What about that one? What if I go to this little stand of trees? What might be hiding under here? Let's make this bigger. There's a fun little tree. Got a little bit of a skirt with branches. All right, let's zoom down here. These were the roots I was looking for earlier. Those will be useful to me in just a bit. Just a bit. Ooh, I like putting logs in the water too. So what I'm going to do is take this log, place it right below the water. Maybe another one. In fact, ooh, I'm going to build this up a bit. I'm going to put several of these logs under the water. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to move them above the water. And we're going to put a little bit of a crossing right here. You got to go under these trees to get to it. But there are some fallen logs and debris. They've been stacked up like this, like so. Let's put this one a little bit lower, right about like this. Now this may look a little odd. We have all of these trees blocking parts of the river. What we need are some rapids as well. And we're going to get those right here, but we need to get a good color for them. We need them to match the water. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We're going to go a little lighter color here. And now we're going to get some small rapids. Nothing too hefty, but certainly noticeable. Now I do see some of the trouble there. I see some trouble there with the log overlapping the hedge, but that's okay. We have plenty of things, assets that we can place there. And here we have a little set of rapids, right? Okay, I like that. We have plenty of assets that we can put in place. Forest floor. There we go. We're going to place some moss, some leaves over the log here. A little bit of a landing for that log. In fact, I really like the idea of, trying to merge this mossy area into the water a bit better and with the grass, surrounding grass. So I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to line it up. We're really focusing on the nature aspect of this map, and that's okay. Everything's okay. If it makes us happy, certainly. We're not doing any harm here. We're just fleshing out our map, giving it some life. It's kind of fun, these little notches in the moss that I'm filling in. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see that a bit better. See this little notch right here? Boom. Doesn't that feel nice? I like it. I think it feels cool. So there we go. We don't have to put every inch of it, but we are going to cover most of this little overhang. What I like too is these little bits of leaves on these assets have some mottled bits, almost like it's dirt or mud. There we go. How much more of this do we have? Oof. I have set myself a job, have I not? All right, let's put in these little bits here. And again, we want to mix them up. See, this one got a little wonky with the paintbrush, but that's okay. We're just gonna fix you up, little buddy. Your little section that needs some sprucing. Look at that. Not bad. I like that as players might approach the river, they have this dense bit of shrubbery to get through, dense bit of growth, and who knows what might be waiting in the grass there, what they might find. So we're just working our way up the opposite side of the river now, clicking away. Ooh, that looks good. It's funny how easy and quick it is to really get everything to flow together in Dungeondraft. We started with a blank map. We made some ruins, and now we've been focusing on the riverside and all of the vegetation and the life that we find there. And when I zoom out again, it's been a while, but I will zoom out again, we're going to see how this is all flowing together and forming a really nice adventuring area for our heroes. A few more little bits. Hopefully you're enjoying the clicking noises as I'm doing a lot of them. Like I said, I set myself a job here when I decided to do this, but it's alright. Sometimes the work takes a little bit more oomph to get the way you wanted it. That is alright with me. So, finishing up here, almost down to the bottom of the river. And I'm going to start getting a little impatient here and putting some bigger pieces. There we go. All right. That's close enough for government work, I think. And a few on this side. Get us into the water. We're also going to be placing some trees here too, so they're going to make up for some of this cover. All right, I think that's pretty darn good. There we go. Whoops, whoops, whoops. We're going to place a few there. All right. Now, let's continue on with our tree plan. With our tree plan, we're going to get some good trees in here. Let's get these sucker a little larger. Let's see, scale. We're going to put this one here. There we go. This one. Let's get a few more trees. The fun thing with these trees is they can block a bit of the view. Now the ruins are up higher, as we established earlier. But these trees can provide, we don't want them to go under those little bits of vegetation, but that's okay. That's all right. These trees can provide some cover. We do want a bit of mystery. And if the players are wandering through this area from the ground level, they might not be able to see what's going on the other side. Okay. Now, it would stand to reason that we have a forested area. Again, I'm gonna place a few more trees down here. Fill in this area. These are big trees. Big treetops that spread out. There we go. Get that one over the top. Let's rotate a little bit. There we go. Put you right there. You, buddy, can you fill that space in for us? Okay. Here we go. We've got a forest clearing going. All right. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We can see where we have blocked a few areas off and given some obvious pathways to follow. But players can also just move through the trees. It depends on how you describe this area. So, as we did earlier, we might give a few markings on the ground to split this up. For forest floor is what I was using before. There we go. Yeah, let's give it a little bit of variety. Little muddy spots, little dirt spots where the ground's tore up. Kind of shows us an impression of tree roots, which is, I think, is nice. And can be a little bit of a tripping hazard, but you know, I'm a bit of a mountain biker, and roots are always real fun to go over. You gotta really work at them, find the right approach, and if you don't get your momentum going the right way, you get stopped pretty quickly. So I'm just fleshing this out because it looks a little odd that we've done the other regions, but we haven't done these ones. So as you see, I'm putting some little dirt bits, little root bits down underneath these trees. But I think we're doing a pretty darn good job. All right, look at this area we have to explore so far. Now, most of this is looking pretty good, I think. I am going to break up all of this a bit more than it was already. I'm going to get this dirt brush, and I'm just going to give a few spots here and there, just like this. Nice and easy. My intensity's there. We want, smooth blending. Ooh, look at that. We turn that on, and we are in business. There we go. Okay. We are getting some more color, some more depth here. Good, 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 good. This is what I wanted. All right. Now, to me, it would appear that this place, these ruins, it would stand to reason that they would clear out the area in front. Whatever civilization was here before, they'd clear the area in front of trees, you know. There might be smaller homes and other markets or things that stood in front of this raised area. But what could we put in this clearing instead? I think I want to look and see what this looks like if we open up this region. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get this terrain. Oop, that was a little too much. We're going to get this dirt path. Perhaps this path leads to another area. Perhaps it leads to another set of ruins. Who knows? But we are going to give our players the option. All right. We have a pretty good setup here. Now, I'm running out of ideas for the moment of what could be placed in this area. I'm going to double check that smooth blending and just see what it looks like if we take it off. Yeah, it's a bit too stark for my taste. I'm gonna keep it on. Why not? Okay. Let's look at what we could possibly throw down in this area. Ooh, I know. One thing that could give us some depth is we're going to place a campsite. Yeah, a campsite. You can see there's a lot of options here on the right. When making maps, I like to give people ideas. But if we're making a finished product, we don't want to put too much stuff because you want to add in that yourself, and it might be things that can be removed from the area. For now, we're going to focus on the general. So, one thing that we're going to place is a campsite. Let's get in here and get our camp assets. Ooh, okay. Tint colors. Let's look at our tint colors. Let's go with these here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's get ourselves a campsite going just in the shadow of these ruins, not far from the river itself. We're going to zoom in up here, get our campsite going. Okay. So we have a tent, and going by the squares, they're 5-foot squares. So a tent's not huge, but maybe this is a pretty substantial one. I'm going to place it right here. Well, Yeah, let's place it right here. Okay. We will place a empty cook fire. There we go, an empty fire pit. And you know what? We're actually going to put a second tent, that is. Let's give them a green one. Blue. I like blue. There we go. A second smaller tent right here. Okay. Now around the terrain, you know, they've made a campfire here, so we're gonna model out that grass there. Okay. And actually we're gonna give the little impression that they've been stomping around this campsite a bit. Not bad at all. So, campsite. What else would we have? This campsite. Ooh, I know. Maybe some crates. Let's do that. Crates and barrels. Pretty useful. We got some floating debris. I'm going to come down right here as if this campsite got disturbed. This crate doesn't quite fit, actually. But I'm going to put this one here as if they were sitting on it, you know? And let's put these stacked up just behind. I think we want to order them just like so. Who knows what these people here were doing? But they got themselves a good operation going. Let's put these... I'm trying to find a good place for them, honestly. I like it right about... maybe a little too many right there. That's okay. Ooh, here we go. That's a good one to place right on the side. Okay, we've got some crates here, and I think now we are ready to move about. Little tent and camp setup here. And I think maybe for some added mystery, let's add a stand of rocks. We need some that match. We already have these here. Let's see what I can find in the old vault. Ooh, we do have these we used earlier. I wonder if we could use a bigger version of them and if they would blend in okay. Let's try it. Why not? So I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. I'm going to choose this color right here. And let's see how big these rocks can get without losing their definition. Okay. Not too bad. The shading on these is a little odd, so I'm not sure if they're really going to fit. I feel like I might be able to use these somewhere. There's some good boulders here, but with the colors we've used on this map, we don't want anything to stand out too oddly. But tell you what, we're going to place these, and we're going to get them in a loose circle, as if the people here who are camping came to investigate these. So let me get some boulders going here. Just so. Ooh, that's kind of fun. It almost gives the impression of a skeleton of some sort. Little half circle is what we're working on. And I'm going to go under because we don't want all of these to be exactly the same. Okay. Weird little thing located right here. Weird little circle of rocks. So we're going to put some scattered rocks as well underneath. There we go. So that there's been some crumbling of this material here. Now we're also going to go back to our forest floor assets and kind of, merge these up a little bit. Here we go. Meld them into the ground. Make them fit a little bit better. Now, as you've seen from the map we've made of this little adventuring area, there are plenty of opportunities for adventure. We can populate this with monsters and critters, all sorts of things to give our players pause or points of interest, just things to make the adventure go. We're going to place a few more little bits of this grass here around things like the tent and the sitting area. There we go, maybe right there. Okay, I think that's a bit better. This way these assets, these things don't look like they're just sitting out of nowhere. They're kind of merged in with the landscape. Okay, so folks, I think that's going to do for today. Here is our forest clearing and ruins region. We have a little campsite along the flowing river. We have a crossing of the river that has formed some rapids, just a little bit of a log jam here. And we have the ruins themselves to explore when it is time. Last thing I want to do is I think I want to go back to our terrain and see what the gravel looks like in the ruins themselves. Ooh, there we go. Now we are cooking with some bacon grease. We are giving some life to these ruins. That little gravel brush was there the whole time. Look at that. So lovely. Okay. Now we are set. Yeah, I like this. This has gone well. That is a lovely little region. I'm going to take the grid off for a second so we can see what we have made here. Let's get this out of our way. We're going to zoom out. That is our region. Ready to be populated with critters, monsters, treasure chests, all sorts of fun stuff. So thank you everyone for joining me on this dungeon dive. Please have a listen to the Delightful Dungeon Diving podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.